Hi, I'm Donna Lee Gastric. Today I want to talk with you about what I call microdosing magic. It's the power of earth medicines to help us, to aid us. I don't proclaim that they're necessary or required in any way, shape, or form. But if you're called, if you're summoned, if you're curious, if you're learning about these earth medicines, I I will definitely implore that you do your research, that you expand your knowledge and your understanding, and that when you're ready, that you find the right guide, the right service, support, and potential to take you deeper into what these medicines have to offer us. I found my way to plant medicines when the medical system was no longer serving me. In 2008, I had what ended up turning into 3 back surgeries and then followed up afterwards by a grand mal seizure. I was left broken, literally damaged mentally, emotionally, physically. I had no ability to even think my own thoughts. I was trapped in a mental loop of the doctor's prognosis for my health. And it was a story that wasn't even mine. It went something like this: you'll forever live in back pain. You'll be back in a year for a fusion. You'll never be 100%. If we can get you to 75 or 80% after 3 surgeries, that's good. Be happy. Winters will be hell on you. The cold will make your pain even worse. Like, who wants to hear any of these stories, right? Lo and behold, I had just started Complete Solutions. I was feeling devastated. Like, was I really employable if my business flopped and failed? Would another employer take me on? Was I going to have to file for disability? The thoughts that went through my head and the fears and emotions that ran through me were not of anything I'd wish on anybody. But the more I went back to the medical profession to ask for help, the more they kept giving me another prescription and another prescription. And I wanted off the drugs. I wanted to get clean from the drugs. I knew I had to get them out of my system. And that took me to taking plant medicines. A macro dose, a macro journey of psilocybin was my first experience. And it led me with all the insight, all the answers, as if a higher intelligence system was connecting with me on that journey and guiding me to everything I needed to do. I was told to detox my body. I was guided to do a green juice 5-day detox. From there, I adopted an eating style that was outside my normal parameters to re-alkalize my body and bring it back into an alkaline state where it could flourish and heal with ease. And all of these things were brought to me from this higher intelligence. No doctor, no reading, no wisdom, no research. It was as if I had complete access to an inner intelligence system that I've later labeled and come to understand as my spiritual intelligence. And we all have this access, this ability to tap into higher wisdom, higher states of consciousness, altered states that give us guidance, instruction, and direction, give us insight, greater understanding in the now moment. And what I've realized in the psychedelics is that they also bring what's unconscious in us to the surface, to bring it conscious so we can see it, so we can work with it. My journey through psychedelics brought me to a Native American church in my state, where I worked with medicines of peyote and ayahuasca, as well as the magic mushrooms. I worked with other people and newbies on their journey. I've helped facilitate sacraments and ceremonies. But I also know that even when I didn't partake of the sacrament, and this medicine was always sacred to me, there was never a need for me to use it recreationally or abuse it in any way, shape, or form. I always went into it with great intention of making certain I was clean of alcohol, of foods that aren't good for me. and things like that to give it the right set and setting to do its magic within my being. So over the last decade, I have come to do extensive research on my own and with clients on microdosing. And I find that you can get the same benefits, the same effects of the macrodose in a microdose, where you don't enter into a hallucinogenic state and you're not in a state, an altered state for 4, 5, 6 hours at a time. A microdose gives you no effect, meaning it doesn't alter your state of consciousness. You don't hallucinate. You're not in an altered state in any way, shape, or form. In fact, the day you take the dose, you generally feel nothing, no difference. But what I noticed was the day after, and the day after that, my awareness was expanded. For others, they noticed that their anxiety was lessened, their depression eased. They noticed their mood was lifted, that they felt a little happier, a little better, in control, that their brain fog started to dissipate, so that the results are astonishing. If microdosing sounds interesting, if it sounds like something you want to do, follow me on social media. I periodically have Q&A calls to join me on a microdosing Q&A session where you can ask any questions you might have, where you can learn more and get the information you need. My own journey through psychedelics caused me to write the book, Bringing Spirituality into Business. It's a guide to know yourself, to grow yourself, and to live your life through this empowered state of being. It's my experiences of what was required of me when I took a journey, of the inner work that I needed to do. You see, all of us, when we reach adulthood, there's inner work that we need to do. We need to look within and release the conditioning that's not ours, that doesn't align with who we are. You see, each and every one of us has been taught or trained or conditioned by our environment, by our caregivers, by those we associate with, by our family, our friends, our teachers, our guides, our community. They've all conditioned us in a way. Sometimes that conditioning isn't of our own personal journey. And we need to be able to decipher what aligns and what doesn't, to take what fits, to keep what works, and to leave the rest. And it's in this discernment, it's in this growth that we move through, that we begin to find ourselves. And as we do, we get to come back into alignment with all that we are. I focus in my book on 4 aspects of you. You have an IQ, an EQ, a PQ, and an SQ. And when we really come into that balance and harmony of all aspects of ourselves, that's when we really get into the health, wholeness, and thriving into all that we came to be. If any of this resonates with you, reach out. Join me in a Q&A session, join me in a masterclass, and let's get you journeying into your best and greatest self, for sure. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to talking with you. And if you are called to work with me, by all means, reach out and let's have a conversation and see how we can best serve you and your needs moving forward. I'm Donna Lee Gastric. I'm the founder at Complete Solutions. I wrote a book that is the inner workings we all need to embrace. I'm bringing it into businesses because that's what businesses need today. The dysfunction in businesses is massive. And when we really correct it at the corporate level to change the culture in the organization, to truly invest in the people, to bring forth their gifts, talents, and treasures, the shifts, the changes, the growth, the potential, the prosperity, the innovation will exceed and thrive beyond our wildest imaginations. When you're living your greatness, when you're really giving of yourself and contributing of the natural innate gifts and talents within you, work isn't work. It's so much fun and it's so enjoyable, and you have greater meaning and purpose in all that you do. join me. I look forward to hearing from you.